Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Ushanka here. And today I got into it on a video, I want to say a couple videos ago, involving the Pride Month and pedophilia, okay? And how it was disgusting and, the exploiting of children and, all that stuff, and how it's disturbing, it's cringy, it's wrong, it shouldn't happen. So if you haven't seen that, please go through my video history and look and see. I believe it's Pride Month and pedophiles. That's the name of the video. Just look out for that one. I keep the titles really simple just so that way, it's just plain and simple forward, you can find it out. So what I want to talk about today is sort of involving this, sort of tying it in. Supposedly in August, over in Boston, the city of Boston, they want to have, who they is that there is an organizer who wants to have a straight pride march. And it's just for one day in August, and it's only going to be for a couple of hours. It's not going to be a week long. It's not going to be a month long. It's just going to be for a couple of hours, to where, you got men and women who are just, walking down a set street, and just with their kids probably, and just going around waving American flags, or they even have a flag that they made for the straight pride parade. It's the male and female symbols, and a blue and pink banner, and that's it. I mean, that's basically that they have a banner, they have what they want to do. I think he already picked out a grand marshal, which is actually going to be whoever is supporting this and the guy in charge of it. They want Milo Yiannopoulos to be the grand marshal for the parade, and if you don't know who that is, Milo Yiannopoulos is basically a gay man who is Jewish, who is married to an African American, and that's just who he is. But if you want to know more about why they would have picked him, is because he's basically the anti-democrat, gay, Jewish man that they just hate because he's not on their side, and they can't have that. So he's been to Berkeley, and tried to go to Berkeley a few years ago, where Antifa totally destroyed, or kind of totally destroyed, UC Berkeley, and that's where he is sort of surrounded in that controversy and being banned on social media sites and what have you. So anyways, they want him to be the Grand Marshal, and they want him, leading the pack, and they're encouraging also anyone else, gays, if they want to, show up, support your brethren, support your sisters, out there who are straight, And I've been watching Miss Caitlin Bennett, who has been going to multiple Pride rallies, and Millie Weaver, Millennial Millie. If you don't know who that is, please go check them out. Check her out as well. And they've been going to Pride rallies, and they've just been going around asking questions, going undercover even, just to try and talk to these people, because if they show up not looking all colorful and with their hair a different color, and if they're sporting an InfoWars mic, or waving an American flag, or holding a poster that says MAGA on it or something, they'll get attacked. No one will talk to them, and no one will give them any information. So they've been going around to these these Pride rallies, and and they've been not exposing it, but just asking them simple questions about you know, what do you think about the Pride Month? And, you know, asking them little questions here and there to get their minds thinking. And, you know, a lot of it is they can't answer the questions. They don't want to get involved with the questions. And they, you know, especially when it comes to Donald Trump, they just totally, they're all, the one thing that I notice they say is we want to have equality, we want to have love and this and that, and you know, we want to be able to have people express themselves, and you know, and it's all based on love and care and being free to do whatever you want to do. But then the moment they bring up Donald Trump, it's like, oh no, F that guy. Oh, screw him. I hate him. You know, it's like, where did the love go? The love just went flying out the window, you know, for a president that they don't really even care to do that much research on or looking into. But the whole straight pride parade, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like it's unnecessary. I really think, yeah, it's whatever. It's not something that, because it's not something we're demanding. And there was a video where I think it was Millie Weaver. She went to go to a pride rally and asked people about if they had heard about the Boston straight pride march. And some people said yes, and people said no. But a lot of them just gave the fact that, you know, it's rude, it's wrong, it's distasteful. You know, they haven't been struggling. You know, straight people haven't been, you know, attacked or beaten or, you know, forced to leave their homes or anything like that because the renter didn't like them simply because they're gay. And don't get me wrong, they have a point. Okay, they have somewhat of a point there. All right, where straight people haven't been harassed in the years that their people of their kind were getting harassed, like in the 40s, the 50s, or the 60s. Okay, and even in the 40s and 50s, it was underground. I mean, even Hollywood celebrities at the time, they would only go to certain bars. It was underground, and they couldn't go out and you know, express their sexuality preferences because they'd be shunned, and, you know, they lose their position in Hollywood, or, you know, the position in a political power or what have you. So it was all under the table, discreet. And now that it's out, and, you know, it's not uncommon for people to say, oh, well, he's gay now. You know, it's common knowledge now to where people come out now, they're gay. They've gotten that far now, okay? And that's fine. Go ahead. Do whatever you want, you know? So they're at that point now to where they have everything going for them. It is accepting now, and they have their little month and their pride, okay? And when they say that, you know, the straight, you know, men and women in this country aren't, you know, being oppressed by that, well, in earlier years, no, but nowadays it is starting to get attacked. Being straight, there have been news articles about even in the Hollywood elites, where there's these just attacks on men trying to pick up women, like dating, like at a bar, you know, not to date, rape, drug them or anything like that, or, you know, hookers or any of that crap. No, we're talking about, you know, guys going to bars, expecting to pick up a chick, get a girl's number or something, talk to them, you know, toxic masculinity, you know, men being too much of a man, you know, and all that stuff. And they're starting to attack that. A lot of the gays and social justice warriors, they're power tripping and letting it get to their head to where they think like, oh, well, these men have too much power, and, you know, conservative women, they're just brainwashed into thinking that, you know, that they have power, but they really don't, but they're, you know, being controlled by their, you know, conservative husbands who are toxic masculine and all that stuff. You know, a lot of the straight men and women on our side, in our day and age, it's like we're starting to be looked at as like evil, where it's like it's evil to have a relationship, or to try to go and get a relationship with another girl or another guy. It's like you can't do that. You can't go and be that, because you don't know how these people are going to be. They can be so brainwashed and so dumbfounded by all this stuff that they feel like, oh, he's being so toxic. Oh, he's trying to rape me, and the whole Me Too movement is just totally throwing, the fact that women are now starting to see that, well, is this another Harvey Weinstein thing? Is this some sort of Hollywood rapist? Okay, that's good. Expose all the, these Hollywood elites that are, raping women, or, trying to give them a pass and get them ahead if they just take their clothes off and have sex with them. And I get that's wrong, especially if they're underage, pulling some Roman Polanski shit, Now, okay, that's fine. Expose that, get that shit out and, tell people about that. But now it's just because it's becoming accusations. They're trying to get like Morgan Freeman. They're trying to get, was it Brad Pitt? Was it Brad Pitt? I don't know. They're trying to even get actors now that are, they're trying to like Bill Cosby him. Bill Cosby, yeah, whatever. He it's here or there for me, but they're trying to just sort of, it's all accusations now. It's like, now because of this movement, now they're just getting on everybody. Now, whether they did it or not, I don't know. But it's like, now it's just sort of, we have to question everybody. We have to question whether they're famous or not. We have to question what all these guys are doing. And these straight men who are trying to hook up with a girl or get a girl's number or go on a date or whatever, it's like, now women are questioning that, and they don't want to have relationships or anything anymore because they can't do that, and they feel conflicted with doing that, and it's like wrong, and who knows, are they trying to rape me or something? It's like there's this mentality now that there's rape culture going on. And so so in a way, being straight is starting now to be attacked. There are news articles out there and reports of, just women calling the cops on men simply because they were trying to pick them up in a bar and they weren't trying to do anything wrong, And so the attack on straight men and, vice versa, from the gay community, from just social justice warriors in general, they are just attacking. They're attacking us now simply for being straight. And it's not saying, oh, you're straight, screw you, you need to stop doing what you're doing. But it's slowly growing into that kind of point to where eventually they can just start saying, we're tired of these men and women having babies together, we're fighting for abortion, we're going to fight for, we're going to fight so that way these people never even have kids, to where all you have to do is just, you have to have, the only way you can have a kid is through a doctor's agency, a test tube baby or some crap like that. They're fighting for just maybe stupid crap like that. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's just it's speculation that this is how these people are thinking. And so getting back to Millie and interviewing the Pride Parade about, would these marchers, would they, if they could, like let's say it was in their hometown, would they, if they could, go to a rally? Like let's say the rallies got popular, and once a year, one day out of the year, they do this, and it becomes popular, it becomes mainstream. Will you go and show your support for your fellow, straight heterosexual, friends or family members or whatever? And a lot of them said no. They said it was like I said, they said it was wrong, it was disgusting, it was distasteful and everything. But it's like, it's so weird. They're there to support and flaunt and to try and get everybody to, come to their parade. And yes, I get, because of all the crap they had to go through back in the day, and that's fine. But it's just the total hypocrisy in how ill-informed these people are of them, being interviewed. They get asked, like, are you loving? Are you, why are you here? Why are you doing this? And they're just like, oh, it's for love and this stuff. And equality and involving everybody. But then when it comes to, the straights doing this, which I really don't care for, but if the straights want to do that, fine. I figure conservatives and straight people have better things to do with their lives than just do a march. But still, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'm not going to boycott. I'm not going to say no or it's stupid. I'm just saying, well, whatever. They're just going to trash us for supporting it or anybody who goes to it. So it's like, it's kind of like not a big deal for me. But anyways, they just show this hypocrisy, how when they're there in their zone and in their field, they're all loving and this and that. But then when it comes to straight, and some said it was going to be sexist or racist or whatever if they went there and went to that that straight pride parade, they were like, disgusting, horrible, why is it even happening? They never had to suffer, they never did that. And again, they had some points there, but honestly though, they have this, like, it was like disgust. It was like, that's not right. Like, it was like as if they heard that there was some sort of KKK marching going to happen in Boston. Like the white supremacists were going to have a march in Boston. Like, that's how they took it as. They took it like that. And they took that information and they took that news like it was a KKK march was going to happen. It's wrong, it's evil, it's stupid, like just totally tearing it down. And it's so funny how they do that and how they're all about the love and everything, but it's like the moment it comes the opposite spectrum of them, the mood changes. They just have to hate on it. It's F Trump, it's F this, it's F you, it's F conservatives, it's F everybody really. And so anybody that doesn't come out to support them, really. and so, and these issues that they're marching for, yeah, it's something that they've accomplished, but there's other things in this world that could benefit them. And this is what they don't seem to concept and grasp, is that here in this country, they look at, if anything has a shred of a hate crime attached to it against gays or bisexuals or whatever, transvestites, it will make the news, and they will make it seem like it's happening every single day of the week. Okay? They will make it seem that like it's like it is a hot button issue and the president needs to come in and do something about it. And it could be one case of it. And that's it. Stop the presses. We need to take action on this. Okay? And they're only worried about it here in this country. That's what they're worried about. They're worried about things like that happening here. So, wouldn't it be more smart to actually expand your acceptance globally around the world? Like, wouldn't you want to be able to go to, let's say, a Muslim country or China or like Thailand or somewhere, or I don't know if it's Thailand, but anywhere in the South Pacific where there is a high Muslim population? Because the last time I checked, if you go to Africa, or if you go to the Middle East, you go to China, you go to certain places in the South Pacific where there are total bans on anybody being gay, where they will kill you. And it's not like, well, we're just going to shoot you. No, they get creative with it. They'll chop your head off. They'll stone you. Yeah, they'll shoot you. They'll throw you in prison and torture you. Or what have you. They will do that to you because simply based on either their religion or just their beliefs in general, that is wrong, okay? Now, I don't agree with homosexuality at all. And I said this before, if you want to go do it, you go ahead and do it. Just don't force me and call me a bigot just because I don't agree with you. Just do what you got to do. Just don't make my taxpayer dollars pay for your sex changes or your therapies to transition into a woman or to cut your Johnson off or to have a Johnson put on you or whatever. Go ahead and do whatever you want to do. And I'm not for spreading homosexuality around the world. But if you want it to be more accepted and tolerated in other parts of the country and other parts of the world, you got to start, instead of walking around in front of children, mind you, walking around half naked in BDSM gear with looking like evil clowns with face paint on, with your marble sacks hanging out and your butts and your boobs and everything hanging out, you know, painted up, looking like a bunch of weirdos, a bunch of lunatics. You guys should be marching down the street calling for how the Democrats say they're for you. The Democrats say that they want you to be able to express yourself and be anything you want to be, and don't let Donald Trump bring you down because he's so rude and mean. But you should be the one going off and demanding that these liberals who have ties and who support Saudi Arabia, who support letting in Muslims, and who treat Muslims and these other Arabic countries who are just heavily influenced by Islam, who hate gays, and they accept Muslims, and especially the money that comes from them, from Saudi Arabia, via oil. The Democrats will throw you under the bus because they're looking at the money. They want you just for the support. And where I'm trying to get at here is that these Democrats now they're wanting to say in front of everybody, in front of the cameras, this is, we support you and we believe in you and blah 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 blah. But yet they're accepting money and they're supporting the migration of Muslims and, trashing the Muslim ban that Trump put on. And yet these same people, like in Europe, where they bring them in, and there's cases of rape, there's cases of murders, beheadings, stabbings, shootings, what have you. It's all happening in these countries in Europe where they let these Muslim migrants in, and yet you're supporting these people who want to bring these same types of people in, and yet these people want to kill you. These people will kill you if they found out that you were gay. Okay? And this is where I'm talking about how when you guys march in the street, it shouldn't be marching about the fact that you guys are accepted now. You guys should be marching in the streets proclaiming that these countries that the Democrats love and support and love bringing the migrants into our country, you guys should be complaining about that. Because the people they want to let in, they want to kill you. And just like when I was calling out Carlos Maza in a few videos ago, how he's so freaking privileged, these gays are so privileged that they don't realize what goes on in these countries. They're so close and stuck to home that that's all they know, okay? They're not having to go out into the middle of nowhere and get water from a well They're not having to be at risk of catching a disease. Well, maybe they are, but you know what I mean. Like, they're not having to go out and hunt for their food. They don't live in a little hut. They all have they all have their jobs. They have their apartments. They have their places where they can live. They have all this stuff, and they don't have a care in the world. The only thing they got to worry about is being late for work, or that's if they even work. But that's all they got to worry about. They got to worry about just, did my coffee get cold, or is Donald Trump going to be the next president of the United States? Like, that's all they have to worry about. But, they're here, and they don't realize that in these countries that hate gays, they will kill them. And so they have to fight and march and protest and get on the Democrats who want to bring these migrants in from these, Arabic countries, these Muslim migrants. And just like I said in another video, how these Congolese, like 300 some plus Congolese migrants cross the border, and they're coming in from Africa, and they could be Muslim, and like I said, they could have Ebola, they could be radical Muslims, radical Islamists, and the gays want to support them because they feel it's the right thing to do. But in all actuality, you're basically going up to a wolf, like you're a sheep, and you're saying, you know what, wolf, I really love you. I love the way, you're badass looking. I love you, and I really accept you, with your long claws and your fangs and your big woolly coat. I really love that. Can I be your friend? And the wolf's gonna say, oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I totally support what you do and your whole pact and everything that you do. Hunters try to kill you and they make you out to look like the bad guys, but you know what? I stick with you. I stick with the wolves. And they're the sheep saying that. And then the moment they get close, then what does the wolf do? Turns their back on them and kills them. Okay? Because that's how it is. Alright? So that's what these people should be protesting about. That is what they should be, doing. Instead of making themselves look like a bunch of crazy weirdos. It's like for 1 month out of the year, it just gives them an excuse to walk around half naked in front of children. And shame on the parents for letting their kids go and bringing them to these events where half naked men and women are walking around. It's disturbing. It's disgusting. And if that was happening at the straight parade, I'd be just as appalled too, because there's kids there. There's not going to be a bunch of porn stars or a bunch of women walking around in bikinis and half naked. I can kind of see what it's going to be like if this parade does happen, but in the end, really, this whole Gay Pride Month stuff, go ahead and have it, but you guys really, really got to reevaluate your system, because it's almost as if they just won, and it just gives them a month to just let it all out. And it doesn't do anything for conservatives who, not like me, where I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You're just making yourselves look bad, and other conservatives are going to be sort of like, I really don't want to support the guy dressed up in BDSM stuff. I mean, I'm a Christian, but I don't think that'll be a good look for the church if we support these people. I don't know about that. So, put some clothes on, hold your rainbow flags, hold your signs, but you guys should be really, really protesting about the real issues, about how the Democrats are letting the Muslims in, guys who want to kill you, and let's be honest, it is the Muslims. Christians aren't killing you guys. Buddhists aren't doing it. Hindus aren't doing it. The Jews aren't doing it. Only cases of where gays are getting killed are in Muslim-run countries. Okay? Let's be honest here, people. So, you guys got to really evaluate, and if anybody is listening and is gay, I'm not trash talking anybody. I'm not bringing anybody down. But what you guys got to do is you guys got to get the word out and say, look, if we're trying to have our movement, you know, be a little bit more respectable about it. Go out there and march for the real issues out there. For the issues that are in front of your face, but you fail to see it. You guys are so blind, you can't see it. Okay? Now, I don't support it, but, you know, to maybe wake you guys up and realize that, you know, how you accept Muslims and how you accept anybody the left or the liberals say you should support. You don't give two thoughts about it. You just think, okay, I'll do it. I support them. Like a gay transsexual Islamist exists in this world, where they want to try and have that exist, but it doesn't work, because if you go to the countries, Egypt, Syria, Libya, Northern Africa, go to any of these countries, they will kill you for it or imprison you for life with torture. So you guys really got to look into this. All right, so that's it. Ushanka's out. Dislike, like, subscribe, whatever. Get it out there. We'll catch you in the next video.